Hello again, and welcome back to another episode of What in the Ads is Going On. My name is Amanda Robinson. I am the Digital Gal, and this is the place where we geek out on Facebook ads. Well, ads in general, but mostly Facebook ads because that's my love language. So we just wrapped up we just wrapped up a month of the Facebook ads 4-week boot camp. So every 3 months, I rerun the boot camp, and it's the foundational training of teaching Facebook advertising. And every time I rerun this training, it changes. Why? Well, because Facebook ads change literally daily. So in order to keep students current on all the changes of Facebook ads, I basically just rerun the exact same training every 3 months, going through the 4 different components of creating ads using Ads Manager, audiences and targeting, budgets and strategy, and reporting and optimizing. And I go over it again and again. And anyone who's taken the boot camp can just stay in the boot camp indefinitely and keep taking it over and over, because the importance that I'm finding of the foundational training and getting a grasp of it and then being able to grow with it is critical. But learning Facebook ads takes some time. It doesn't really evolve and happen overnight. And what I found from my experience is that when someone goes and takes a Facebook ads course, usually it's outdated. If it's pre-recorded, it's usually outdated the second that it goes live. And I want to give a giant shout out to Annette. Hi, Annette. Annette is here. Thank you. So usually with Facebook ads courses, they are out of date the second they get published because things change so often. And then the other thing that I found is that it takes to actually make Facebook ads work for you. It takes a lot. So I'm going to throw this up here. To make Facebook ads work for you, it takes a lot of moving pieces. Like I mentioned earlier, with understanding how to use Ads Manager, understanding how to create your audiences and do your targeting, understanding how much budget you need and where you should be spending it and how you should be creating a strategy that fits that, and then understanding, okay, what's working, what's not. You don't just learn that overnight, and you don't just learn that from sitting and binge watching a course. So what I've found as the key to success is that people who actually take the bootcamp, go through the training, they kind of get that first exposure to it and go, oh, okay, that's how it's done. Oh, okay, I should try that. But it's when you actually get hands-on, when you actually sit down and try doing Facebook ads for your first time. Hi, Kate. It's good to see you in here. When you actually start doing Facebook ads for your first time, you are going to run into a ton of little snags and hurdles and issues that if you don't have a helping hand to say, hey, here's how you overcome it, then it can be a full stop. It can just prevent you from moving forward, and it can scare you off of continuing to do Facebook ads, or it can frustrate the heck out of you. And then you just spend all that money on trying to learn Facebook ads and the time, and then you don't actually implement. Whereas what I'm finding is that this program, by exposing people to Facebook ads and learning how to do it yourself, getting that first initial, here's how it's done, the initial exposure, then you let some time pass, and then they actually get hands-on and they start learning how to do ads. Then more questions pop up. 3 months in, I rerun the training all over again. Johnny, hi! Johnny is here, and he's tuning in from YouTube. We're live on Facebook and YouTube on both the Digital Gals channels here, so I'm very excited to see some very familiar faces popping in. So with the course of learning Facebook ads, you start running ads, or you start learning to do your own ads. And of course, you're going to run into problems. And some of those problems could include like, hey, wait a second, I took that training and my menu screen looks completely different than the one in the training video. Happens all the time because there are generally 3 or 4 different menu screen versions rolling around out there at any given point in time. And we've got the mix of Business Suite versus Business Manager, all sorts of blends and mixes going on out there. So it can be a little daunting and a little confusing, and it takes just a little bit of getting hands-on and the repetition of learning how to do it before you get to the point where you're up and cruising. And then there's some finessing and tweaking. So of the folks, what I've learned, I've been running that boot camp now for over 3 years. And I've had some people in it who have been in it for 3 years, and I've had other people who have just recently joined. And what I'm learning is that after the second or third time round of the boot camp of the 4 weeks, they're starting to finally pick it up and starting to really do ads for themselves. And that just that makes my heart happy. That makes me feel really good to actually be able to help somebody get off the ground and doing their own advertising, because it's not easy. Let me tell you, Facebook ads has not been easy, especially lately. It feels like the platform's gotten a little more little more confusing, especially this past year when they started to really clean up the platform and block a lot of ad accounts and get rid of a lot of business manager accounts, block a lot of people from advertising. They did basically like a giant clean sweep. And it's good. It's good for all of us. It keeps the platform clean, but it's been a lot to navigate for a lot of people. So Facebook ads, yeah, this past year has been one heck of a year of learning and growing. So I definitely feel for anybody who is a newbie out there who's just starting to take the reins and learn Facebook ads for yourself. I totally get it. I would love to know of the folks that are watching this right now. Let me know, like hands up in the comments if you've ever run a Facebook ad for yourself, or also let me know if you're on the other side of the camp where you're like, nah, I'm not touching that. Nope, not my jam, not my deal. I am not going there. So let me know what side you're on. Of like, yeah, I'll try my own Facebook ads. Johnny, what are you doing? You're over here too? Wait a second. Normally when I'm live, you're usually driving in your car or going somewhere. How is this possible? So we got Johnny over here. We got Johnny over here. You're freaking me out a little bit. Not gonna lie. Kidding. All right, so for today, and I just wanted to show you, by the way, if you have been taking the boot camp, if you're not already a member of the boot camp, I'm going to do a quick little screen share here and just give you the recap. All of the 4 trainings for the month of August are done. You can now find them in the guides section. Voila, the guides section of the group. And as you scroll down, you can see you've got the week 1 replay organized there, the week 2, the week 3, which I had to bust into 2 different sections because I was having a computer malfunction of computer overheating. Which, by the way, let me see if I can pull up a screenshot here of my solution to that. Yeah, right there. So that was my solution earlier when I was running the bootcamp week 3. I was traveling, I was on the road, and I was in Ontario, and I was outside, and it was too hot, and the computer overheated, and therefore it stopped the live stream. I couldn't live stream. So I ended the live stream, ran inside, went to the freezer to try and find something that I could use to cool down the computer. And I was thinking of trying to find like ice cubes or something and put them in a bag and then put the laptop on top. Couldn't find ice cubes, but I did find frozen bananas. So I took the frozen bananas, busted up the bunch, laid 4 of them down, and laid the laptop on top of it. And it did work. It actually worked. So yeah, frozen bananas for the win. That was awesome during the boot camp. And then rolling into week 4, that's in there. So all the replays are organized inside the guides section of the Facebook group. And if you're not already a member of that, you probably should be, because you're probably like Johnny right now, saying, read an ad once and had no idea what I was doing. Gotta learn more. Come to the dark side. Come join us. Come geek out with us. And Kate is saying, yes, I've run several recently. Kate's run several ads recently. So Kate is like rolling her sleeves up. She's getting right in, like swan diving into the deep end of Facebook ads. And Johnny is over here. He's like dipping his little toe in the water going, it's too cold over here. I don't think I'm ready to jump in. So yeah, Facebook ads can be fun. So I've got a little video clip for you. I ripped some videos off of TikTok because our dear friend Azrael Rats, he's now on TikTok. Yay! I'm happy to see him on TikTok. I haven't gotten the guts to branch over into talking about Facebook ads over on TikTok because I don't know. I feel like TikTok needs to be fun, and I feel like I want to keep posting like videos of waterfalls and traveling and adventures on there, and not turn it into a marketing platform for myself. But I just cannot help myself. Cannot help myself when Azrael jumps on there. So if you don't know the background, Azrael is well respected in the Facebook advertising industry. He goes by the loving moniker of King of Facebook Ads, and I definitely support that. I respect him and I respect his opinions. But I also love that him and I do often have opposing opinions when it comes to running Facebook ads. Now, for the record, when I get e-commerce clients, I typically refer my e-commerce leads over to him because he works in high volume, and e-commerce with e-commerce clients, and he is very, very successful for his clients that way. And then when he gets real estate leads or leads where it doesn't have an add to cart and conversions, then he usually sends it off my way or to other friends of his. So You can see why we might have opposing opinions because we work with different clients. But anyway, what I did is I grabbed two of his videos. One I'm going to show you now because I really feel like it brings up a good discussion point. So instead of me getting on TikTok to talk about this, maybe duet him and share my opinion, I'm just going to do it here on Facebook. Why? Because I like Facebook. All right, so let me pull up that first video. And if you're popping in right now and watching and you have not already commented, let me know you're here. I want to give you like a digital hug, like, hello everybody. Thank you for joining. All right, let's get this party started. So let's play this video. It's going to be 2.5 minutes long or 2 minutes long or something like that. And let's go. And let me know if as I'm playing this, if the audio isn't good, I can adjust it. Just let me know. So I want to get your opinion in the comments, whether you've run ads before or whether you're new to ads, what your thoughts are on Azriel's video. So let's go.
When you create a Facebook ad, the very first stage is setting up your campaign objective. If you were to ask Facebook how you should be doing this, they would tell you that for cold audiences, you should target some low quality objective like a video view, retarget for landing page or link clicks, and then finally, for those people who are ready, to target them with conversions. The problem is that what I believe the Facebook marketing experts don't understand is that when you choose an objective, it chooses the people within your audience who should see the ad. So let's just say you have a lookalike audience that is targeting a 1% audience of the people that purchase from your store in the United States. That would be an audience of about 2.3 to 2.4 million people. But Facebook won't target all of those 2.3 to 2.4 million people. They'll just target the people within that group that are most likely to purchase, or most likely to view the video, or most likely to click the link, or most likely to like your page, or engage with your post, depending on which objective you choose when you create the ad. So let's say you follow the advice of Facebook marketing experts. You run your ad to 1% lookalike of your purchasers on your store with the objective of video views. Now, instead of getting those people that are most likely to buy, you get the ones that are most likely to watch a video. Now you retarget them with link clicks, retarget them with purchasers, retarget them however you want, app installs. The people that you brought into your funnel from the very beginning are the lowest quality video viewers, not the people that eventually purchase. So my advice to you, if you're starting a campaign targeting cold audiences, don't run low quality objectives. Start your funnel with a conversion ad. What will happen by doing that is you will be reaching the highest quality people in that audience, the best 100,000 people. And then when you retarget them more and get them down your funnel, they will be the best possible people that you could target, and they will be your future buyers.
Okay. So, and I just want to shout out Daryl Nelson, who is also in the house watching this right now. Hey, Daryl, it's good to see you here. And thank you, Johnny, for giving me that audio check, that confirmation that the audio was coming through okay. So if I can kind of summarize what Azriel was saying, I agree with the first part, and I disagree. I don't disagree, but I don't think it's solid advice for every advertiser, and I'll tell you why. So the first part, he's basically explaining that a lot of advertisers or a lot of marketing gurus, whatever you want to call them, are recommending that when you're first starting with Facebook ads, that you target the cheap audiences, essentially. So going after video viewers or people who engage with your page. And if you've taken any of my trainings, I recommend that you do that too. But what he's saying is you might as well just go straight for the kill. Go right for the highest quality part of that audience so that you're filling your funnel with the best people. So in order to do that, though, if you're generally going to be wanting to run conversion campaigns, and don't get lost with me here yet if you're still new at Facebook advertising, it's basically saying you want to go after people who are likely to purchase. Well, I agree. It's more expensive, though, to go after people who are most likely to make a purchase, and it's less expensive to go after people who are most likely to just watch a video or engage with your page. The things I'm talking about over here, these lower cost options, those are activities and actions that take place on Facebook's platform, not off of Facebook's platform. So they're generally cheaper. They don't cost you as much. If you're trying to take somebody off of Facebook's platform and you're trying to send them off, like, fly little birdie, go make a purchase from my website, it's going to cost you a lot more. Facebook is going to charge you a lot more. Now, Azrael's making a really good point there that, well, why would you want to mess around with these lower quality people who, yeah, if they're just watching your videos, cool, that's all they're going to do. They're not your purchasers. So why not go straight for the people who get the people into your funnel who are actually going to purchase in the long run? So I like what he's saying. Let me know your thoughts in the comments if you have any thoughts on that video as we're going here. And now I'm going to share the flip side of that. Actually, I think he gave me a video response here. So let's throw this one up here.
If you don't have these things, should you be running Facebook ads?
So he's saying, so my comment there was, if you have the budget to support this, a proven sales process, and can achieve a volume of conversions, then I totally agree. And Azrael's kind of coming back with, well, but if you don't have those things, should you even be running ads? So here's where we go with this. I kind of agree, but not a lot of people, it costs money to get conversions. And when you first start out with Facebook ads, you might not have a proven funnel. You might be figuring out your landing pages. You might be trying to jumpstart your business or jumpstart your personal brand, or just get awareness rolling that your business exists. Or you might be using Facebook ads to try and help carve out who your audience is. And with that information and data, then start scaling up. But when you are working with, so I work with a lot of real estate teams with small businesses who have smaller conservative budgets and don't have a lot of money and time to really go for it, and people who don't have a system where they can just add an item to cart, checkout, and purchase. So using conversions is very, very difficult for them. The other caveat to that is to really optimize and make Facebook work for you to find inside your audience the people who are most likely to be your purchasers. You have to be striking about a minimum of 50 conversions in a 7-day period of time. So if I have someone who's selling a course and they can't hit 50 conversions in a 7-day period of time, then when we first start out and we're trying to make sure the landing page is working and everything is ideal, then no, we don't want to go right out with a conversion campaign optimizing for purchases and just keep hammering it. We are going to exhaust a really tiny conservative budget very, very quickly. So this is where I come in with saying Facebook ads don't have to be the be all and end all of all of your marketing. Facebook ads don't have to make the sales for you. For the people who are on the platform to scale up and to make sales, and especially in e-commerce, or if you're selling something digital that requires you to only sell in an online environment, then yeah, putting the time in and working on different strategies is definitely going to be important. But for the small business owner who has to remain competitive, you still have to get your best foot forward. Facebook marketing is still one of the cheaper options for you, and it can be a really, really great vehicle for generating brand awareness, letting people know you're even on the radar altogether. And you can do that with lower cost campaigns that aren't costing you an arm and a leg like conversion campaigns will. So video view campaigns, engagement campaigns, they can be very beneficial at helping to supplement your marketing. So it's kind of like if you're going to go fishing and you have a tackle box with a whole bunch of different lures, you might not be able to go and catch that salmon that you wanted, but you might be able to get some rock bass, right? So depending on what you have in your tackle box, if you don't have the funds to fully stock your tackle box with all the bells and whistles and all the things that you need to achieve those conversions, then it's going to be very difficult for you and very costly, and you might walk away empty-handed. So you might spend a lot of time, energy, and effort and spend your very small, limited budget trying to go after those conversions. But realistically, Facebook's platform is expensive in the long run at trying to make sales off of. But Facebook's platform can be very cost effective for small businesses who don't have a huge bandwidth of budget to be able to at least start the marketing process, start the conversation, start the brand awareness. It's a good foot in the door. It's a start. And then you can have other things like your Google ads that can take over. So for example, one of the tactics that I see often is that an advertiser might use Facebook ads to get people to click off of Facebook and go onto their website. And then from there, they might use Google ads to retarget their website visitors with Google ads that follow them around. Google ads are usually a lot more effective at getting sales. So there's a balance to it. There there are tactics that you can use with it. But I just want to caution you, I agree with everything that Azriel was saying. If you've got the budget to support it and you've got a proven landing page and a proven sales process. And Azriel's comeback was, if you don't have those things, should you even be advertising? And yes, there is a time and a place for it, definitely, but I don't think you should be in a position of trying to scale up and try to lean on Facebook advertising to execute on all of your sales. Absolutely not. Definitely not the right place for it. So when it comes to anybody approaching me and asking, hey, I need some help with Facebook advertising, can you do Facebook ads for me? My first questions are, or the first things on my radar that I'm looking out for are, number one, is this a new business? Is it brand new? Have they made any sales before whatsoever? Because if it's brand new, then they probably haven't really dialed in who their ideal customer is. They think they know, they have a great idea in theory, but maybe not in practice. So you really need to have a product that can make sales and is making sales before you try and translate that into the Facebook ads space. And then on top of that, you might have a physical item that sells, like for example, we'll use wine. Say you're a winery and you're selling wine. Well, yeah, you have one of the best wines in the region and it sells off the shelf inside your store or inside your winery. But once we start translating that into the online space of using Facebook ads to go to a landing page, to go to a checkout, to add to cart, etc., you can have all sorts of technical issues. You might have your website might be going down. Your website might be slow to load. Your payment system might be running into issues. So even though you have a proven sales process and you have a proven customer base, once we translate that into the online space, there's generally some little kinks and hiccups that need to get worked out first before we know that your ads can start performing. So that's something that we can definitely spend a little bit of budget and start testing it and seeing where we're running into bottlenecks. But to just kind of turn around and go, okay, now I'm going to start selling online. I'm going to use Facebook ads to a brand new landing page that I haven't tested before. Ugh. It can be costly. It can be very, very expensive to figure out if the landing page works or isn't. Lisa Candace just dropping by, looking beautiful, just stopping by to say hello. Aw, Lisa, I'm glad that you dropped by. Thank you. So when it comes to running those Facebook ads can also help you experiment to figure out where those little bottlenecks are in your funnel. But when an advertiser comes to me, in order for me to say, yes, we can get into a client and service provider relationship, some of the things I'm looking for are, you have something that you've already established that you do sell and it does make sales. You have an audience that it sells to. That if we're going to start using some online components, they're not brand spanking new shiny components that have never been used before and never been tested. Because typically what happens there is something's up with the landing page or it's just not totally working the way it should, and that person's entrusting me with their ad budget. I'm spending dollars on Facebook ads, driving it to the landing pages that they've given me. The landing pages are running into hiccups, but in the end, if it's the landing page's fault, the person who's paying me for Facebook ads doesn't care. They just say the ads aren't working. And I don't want to be backed into that position of trying to show them on paper, like, look, it's your landing page. Your landing page is not working. I don't want to be in that position. So then I generally just turn down the business altogether before taking on a project like that. But where we have the ideal client is where somebody has all of that worked out. They have a landing page that's like, yeah, I am getting, downloads of this free ebook, or I am getting, when I sent this out to my Facebook group and people are downloading it, is working. I've got some level of interest in it and they've got a proven sales process. And I look at the opportunity of it and go, and I evaluate it based on a whole bunch of other criteria of, is this going to fall under a special ads category? Is this going to be a social or political issue? Is this going to get caught up in Facebook's filters for ad approvals? All sorts of things to look at. And do they have a lot of creative to work with? Do I have video or image assets that I can grab and just use in ads? So all of these things are all of these little components that add up to how much time, energy, and effort it's going to take me to create successful ads for this client. And I usually work with small businesses, so I don't work with clients that have massive budgets. And with that in mind, I'm not providing a budget or discount service, but I'm providing a service at a lowest possible cost for what we're trying to achieve. But in order to do that, I know I cannot make a client happy on how much I'm not charging them with without having access to all the little bits and pieces I need. And this is a trap that I find a lot of people who are new into managing ads fall into, where they just take on a client because they're like, oh, okay, somebody's entrusting me to run their ads, I'll take it on. But they're taking on clients that might not have an entire sales process filled out, that might not have landing pages that are working, that might fall under one of those special ad categories and they keep getting flagged, that might have ads that are a little controversial, all sorts of things. Exactly, Lisa. People have no idea how strategic and in depth this takes. True. To have ads done for you, true. And that's why it kind of goes back to exactly what I was saying at the very beginning of this broadcast, is that when you're doing ads, when I teach that Facebook ads 4-week boot camp, you're not going to learn how to do ads from start to finish by watching all 4 of those trainings for your very first time. It's too much to take in. There's too much to experiment with, and you've got too many little puzzle pieces and moving pieces that need to align for your particular business before it works. And that's why incrementally running ads, figuring out your strategy, evaluating, looking back on the results, and making incremental improvements over the course of 3+ months is usually realistically what it's going to take you. Alicia is saying, Alicia, hi. I'm so glad you're here. Results come so much easier when they have a good landing page and funnel in place. Yes, they do. They absolutely do. And I'm guilty of this. Like I will openly admit I've been working with somebody to fix my digitalgal.com website because it's bloated and it's slow. And if I run Facebook ads to that website, I've got basically like a 99% bounce rate. So I'm working on getting that fixed for myself. And then I have my swiftkickintheads.com landing page, which is where people sign up for my bootcamp. That is a little bit better because it's riding off of the backbone of Thinkific. So it's a little bit better optimized, but it's clunky and it's not totally aligned with my brand because I'm working within the template and confines of Thinkific. So it's not my own personal landing pages and funnels and everything like that, not the best. However, in order to remedy some of these things, I know before I start scaling up and pouring a ton of ad dollars into these programs, I'm fixing the programs first. So I'm putting my dollars and energy and effort and time into enhancing the program, making it more robust, and making the people who are already in the program super happy. And then from there, working on my systems. So like I mentioned, getting my website redone and all of these pieces, because they really, really impact the success of your ads. Alicia, my website right now is in the same place and I'm getting mine fixed too. Classic. It's true. Your website evolves. Like I've had the same site. I've had the same iteration of the site for 3 years now. 3 years. And I just migrated me too, definitely the same page so I can grow more. So you know exactly where I'm coming from. Yeah, my website, I migrated from a Squarespace site over to a WordPress site so I could have more robust options. And after I migrated, I basically had somebody help me migrate over, slap it up there. And then anything I've done from now on has just been like another like little Band-Aid patch or just like a little tweak or a little fix. Like just I've been limping along with a half-done site for 3 years. And that's not good. And for me personally, I'm spending more of my Facebook ads dollars on video content, promoting and circulating video content, staying all up in your face, in your feeds, and less ads to promote selling a program and trying to get people to buy. So I'm not necessarily pushing people into my funnel in that regard. I'm just keeping y'all warm with video content. So that's a work in progress. But so if I was a client, if I personally in my exact state was coming to me as Amanda to run Facebook ads, I would turn down the client or I would turn down that project because the project isn't ready yet. But that doesn't mean that I shouldn't still be running some form of Facebook ads to keep an audience warmed up, to keep top of mind, to keep myself out there. There's just different ways that you can do it. It doesn't have to point off of Facebook and go onto a landing page. Keep people on Facebook, keep them watching videos, keep them engaging, and be helpful. Oh, Lisa, so grateful for having Amanda and her training. She's made a huge difference in my ads knowledge. Okay, smiles, big smiles. Alicia says she's going over to a faster server. Say this to clients now time for me to do it. Exactly. Like it's very hard to practice what you preach. Like it took me, and Lisa's saying my website's the same. It took me, I don't know, several years of running an ads business, doing ads for everybody else before I finally started to practice what I preach. So I'm spending, when I'm not in a sales mode, when I'm not selling, I'm still spending about $1,000 a month on my own Facebook ads. And that's because that's what I tell clients to do. So why have I not been doing it? Well, now I do. And even though it's not a perfect strategy, it's not great because I'm not in a perfect position to push people into my funnel, I'm still keeping it going. I still keep ads trickling out. And then Johnny is saying, I do tons of video every week and need to do video ads. Yes, please. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. You're putting the effort in. You're showing up. You're present. You're putting the time in. Now it's time to amplify that so more people can discover you, and it can make the work that you're putting in 10 times more worth it for you. Alicia is saying, regardless, my ads do work. Just thinking now with API, etc., it could be better, could get better results too. Oh, hands down, hands down. You know what I also respect and appreciate, Alicia, is that you're still doing ads and you're still moving forward, even though you're like every single marketer under the sun who has a broken system to some degree. We all do. Like, I don't know, unless you have been working with a huge team and have been pouring tons and tons of dollars into your landing pages and your service, I don't know very many people who have a very well-oiled machine when it comes to their landing pages and their funnel and their email marketing, all of it. It's very rare that you have somebody who has it all together. And then Lisa is saying, yeah, that's the problem. My client's work comes first. And that was me. Well, it still is me, but in the last year specifically, we're getting into the business chatting now. I have split my business into two branches, essentially. One side is clients. So I am Amanda Robinson. I am serving clients and I'm doing the work for them. I'm hands-on. The other side of the business is the Digital Gal brand, the Digital Gal training. So one is like, I'm doing it for you. The other one is training. So on the training side, where I've got the memberships with Kicking the Ads, I've got the 4-week boot camp. I do these videos. I do the content library. There's all sorts of things that I do, but it's the Digital Gal, it's the personal branding side, and that's where I invest my marketing dollars. But I treat them like two different businesses. So my clients' ads and everything come first, but I still have line items on my calendar and I still have dedicated time to work for the Digital Gal, where I'm putting in the time, effort, and I keep showing you guys this thing, the time tracker. I got to get back at it. I fell off the bandwagon on this guy, but I got to get back at it of tracking my time. And one of these items that's the Digital Gal. So when I'm working on my business, on the Digital Gal, that's face up and I'm tracking the time. So at the end of the month, I can look at this, or look at the report, not this. I look at this every day. It sits on my desk. I can look at where did my time go, and mentally, if I want to scale up this side of the business, if I want to scale up the membership and scale up the teaching and training portion of the business and not just get completely bogged down by client only work, then that time has to reflect where I want that direction to go. And then Alicia's saying she uses Toggle for time tracking. I tried that, but I forget to toggle it, whereas this is physical and it's in my face. Lisa's saying, thank you for that honesty. So many don't have it all together. None of us have it all together. And if you do, I'm calling you out. If you do have it together, I respect that, because getting it together, when I say getting it together, if you're jumping in now, just recapping, getting it together as in all of our landing pages, all of our systems, all of our things working in harmony to be operating as best as they possibly can. It's so rare that any of us marketers or businesses have it all flawlessly working in harmony together. There's always broken parts and bits and pieces that need improvement, that need TLC, but we're usually running a business and we just have to keep one foot in front of the other and moving forward. And for those that do have it together, it's usually a spurt of time. So they might have it together for a launch or for a season or for a package or for something very specific. And that, I respect how much work it takes to make that happen. So this is like me giving you like the I bow down with respect to the people who do have a well-oiled funnel, a well-oiled machine that is producing returns for you, because I recognize how hard that is. And Lisa's saying, okay, what is that? That's a timular. So it sits in a little holster here. So it sits on my desk in a little holster like that. And then whatever I'm doing, so that for me is on camera time. So if I'm on camera, like it should be right now, then that side faces up and it automatically talks to the just Bluetooth to the computer and it starts tracking how much time I'm on camera or flipping it around. How much time am I doing digital gal work or how much time am I answering emails, etc. So I can toggle it. TOGGL. Toggle? TOGGL? I think is what it's. No, Timular. Sorry, Timular. Toggle is what Alicia's using. Timular. Yeah, a spurt of time. Yeah, see, we all have spurts of time where things are working, and then we all have spurts of time where things are absolutely falling off the rails, and we're having an emotional day, and we just want to crawl into bed, not get out, not talk to clients, not deal with anything. That I go through spurts of that. Although I've really done a better job at taking weekends off and going adventuring and doing things that are off of a computer screen to kind of recharge my brain instead of getting burnt out and then getting overwhelmed. I'm finally recognizing how important it is to take a little bit of time off a screen and just disconnect so that I don't run into that as often. Alicia is saying, totally respect if you're perfect. There's lots of pieces in the puzzle to put together. Then you need to revisit them regularly and update as things change and our businesses change constantly. I could not have said that better. 110%. That's exactly how it is. It's like a moving target. It's it's a giant moving target. It's constantly changing. And when you finally have all the pieces aligned, it's all working for you, Facebook goes and changes the game. Or your web server goes down, or now people are totally into they hate lead magnets all of a sudden and don't want to give their email address, whatever. Things just, they change so quickly. And then Lisa is saying, yes, more drone shots. You are awesome at it. Yay! I've been getting to the point now where I usually keep my drone fully charged. I keep my drone card empty, so I've got a full amount of memory ready to rock and roll, and I take my little drone in a little case and I usually take it out the door with me everywhere I go. So I am usually packing a drone where I am. I just had it with me in Ontario, got some really fun drone shots over Redstone Lake and of the area up there, and now I've got it back here and I can't wait to, I'm gonna hopefully be paddleboarding again with the drone this coming week, so stay tuned for some more drone shots. Actually, I do have some paddleboard shots that I gotta upload. Yeah, so drone, exactly, getting off the computer, still doing something tech and geeky, but it's physically off the computer so I can recharge my mind with my playing around with my drone. Okay, wow, I've been blabbing a lot. This sort of branched into, this one meandered all over the place. So first I was talking about the Facebook Ads 4-week bootcamp, which just wrapped up this past week. If you want to watch all the replays, they're all fresh, they're all ready to rock and roll. You can go into the guides section of the group and just watch them all if you're already a group member. If you're not, go to swiftkickingtheads.com, sign up, $49 a month, and come hang out with us. And then translated this into me chatting with Azriel's videos on his opinion on running Facebook ads. And I agree with his opinion. I still think there is an arena for small businesses who don't have big enough budgets to run that level of ads successfully. So there's that. And then we just branched into the whole business and time tracking and philosophy and whatnot. So that's it. This is what in the ads is going on. I'm starting to relax a little bit with this. How many episodes in am I? I don't know. I'm a bunch in. I'm starting to relax this and make it more casual because I'm also realizing I need to be in love with doing this every week. And so I need to make sure that the topics I'm picking and things I'm talking about light me up and make me happy. And you guys showing up here, you guys being here and chatting with me on this makes me feel awesome. So that's what keeps me rolling, keeps me going. The fact that Johnny is like showing up in two places at once, like right here and right here, like that's dedication. That puts a smile on my face. And yeah, Alicia, there's loads of room for small business for Facebook ads. I can't agree more. That's where I love hanging. Lisa, I'm glad you popped in. That worked out really well. All right, everybody, I'm going to pack it in here and I'm going to go. Guess what I'm going to do? Yeah, going to go work on some Facebook ads. Shocker, I know. All right, everybody, Thank you so much. Have a fantastic week, and I will see you back here next week on another episode of What in the Ads is Going On. My name is Amanda Robinson. I am the Digital Gal, and if you aren't already, you probably need to get a swift kick in the ads. I'll catch you next week. Bye, everybody.